Hi guys, Brian here. Welcome back to the Angelshire Model Railways. Angelshire. Yes, it's going to be a sad time saying goodbye to this lovely layout. I learned lots of things on it. Yeah, as you do when you start your first layout, you learn all sorts of things. Half of them I've probably forgotten, but I relearned some things and new things when I done NAM 68. So the whole idea is to now fill this space up from here to 190 centimetres from the edge of that wall and coming out here by about 70 centimetres. And I'll drop in some track plans or ideas I've been working on here. So the track plans are basically ideas I've got for using possibly a time saver similar to an Inglenook. I've got some track planning ideas and I've got some creativity that way, but I'm by no means experienced in it, so I'm still learning. I'm going to use Pico Code 83 track, which is prototypical for HO American, and obviously what I want to do is learn more skills and develop the skills that I got from the Angelshire. I've thoroughly enjoyed using the Angelshire. It's been well over 2 years now since it's been built, and I just feel it's time for me to push on for something new. And as we all know, when you're married and you have a family and you live in a small apartment, sometimes this is the only space that you have. So what I hope to do is to show you what you can do in this space and how you can utilise the small space in a living room or a bedroom or a garage or wherever you've got that spare room to build a layout that not only can you spend hours enjoying running trains, playing trains, but also where you can develop your skills as a railroader and not be intimidated by the not knowing how to do something. I'm very much this sort of man that believes in learning, research, picking up tips from other people, trying to emulate some skills but also develop them in your own way, because as much as it's good to kind of copy someone else that's been able to do a particular technique very well, all you'll ever be able to do is replicate their technique. You need to make it your own technique. In order to do that, you need to sit down, get the base fundamentals of what that person does, and then by repetition repeat your version a few times over until you're happy with your results. And we are the most critical of our own work, so we'll always achieve our best. So without much further ado, which is one of the most popular sayings in the YouTube world, is without further ado, let's have a look at the main feature for the new HO layout, which is going to be logging based, and roughly about the 40s, 50s is the period I'm aiming at, with a mix of steam and diesel. First off, we have the feature building on the layout, which is the Walther's Mountain Lumber Company, which I will rename something appropriate to the Angels, somewhere like Angels Ridge Logging Lumber Company, Logging Mining Company. I've still to finalise the name, but it will be around that era, and it will give us an idea of the channel developing and growing, and people can associate the Angels with me and the layouts that I build. So let's have a look at this Walther's kit down here. Now this is a large box. Inside is a bag full of goodies. This building is something that I will build per instructions, because I do follow instructions, not like a lot of folk, wink wink, nudge nudge. But I'm looking at doing this in a particular way where I can kind of super detail it, add maybe particular roof fittings, pieces of equipment and machinery and whatnot, and really kind of fully detail this more than you actually see on the box, and weather it and add internals, looking at putting all the machinery inside that's relative to a lumber mill and all the stuff that will surround it as well. Still working on track plans. These will be shared in this video, as I said, but let's have a look at the actual size of this. I'll pull out the kind of the wall pieces sprue so that you can see roughly how big this kit is. And just like magic, here we see the kit, which is a good size. So if I stick the ruler on that, that's like 320 millimeters, which is quite long, longer than I first anticipated when I was working in the track plans, and that one is 23 centimeters from here to here. Now if I put this against some of the buildings in the Angel Share, you can see that the size of it is quite large and appropriate. So when this actually gets put on the layout, you can see that this will take up a particular length and a particular width. So it's quite a large footprint I'm working with here. I hummed and hawed whether I should do it when I opened it, and I looked in the box and I thought, oh, this is actually bigger than I thought. Double checked my measurements. I thought, oh, I'm off a few mil here, more than a few mil, let's be honest. But I still feel that the diorama approach towards this layout is something that I want to do. I want to be able to create the next best layout. This is going to be the step towards that, and learning the techniques and developing them, and not having any half measures on the new layout, but by certainly no means will it be like the kind of what I've have in mind as far as what I want to build in future on a larger scale. So this small footprint is going to be ideal for me practicing all the techniques I'm going to need in order for me to build a bigger layout, which will be modular. It can be broken down and not necessarily to the room size. I want to be able to adjust the layout to fit any room should I move the layout to another location. I'll have alternative plans for putting in corner sections that can help it become L-shaped or help it become a roundy or whatever, but these are plans for the future. So that was the Walther's kit. That was the Walther's kit. Now we have this lovely specimen, a purchase off a particular online auction site by Mantua, who for all intents and purposes make really nice locomotives. So on advice of other modelers, they said when you see such a loco come up, do your best to grab that, and I did. Now I will put pictures in of this and a little running shot as well, but this is a 2662 articulated logger, and you can see that it is a thing of beauty. And it does look really nice and runs really well as well. I will put some running shots up of that. So that is part of, and this is also included in my track planning. Anytime you buy something, you instantly measure it and then make a little block shape for it, that when I put it on SCARM, SCARM, then I've got an idea of the sizes, and that's why I'm surprised at how large this lumber mill is, but hey, we'll get to that. Also got a nice Christmas gift from a very good friend who gave me that for my Christmas. I'm going to convert this, paint it, detail it, weather it, change the crane on this to something that will be more suitable to moving lumber, and it's a lovely little addition, second hand, but it's in mint condition. And the other one we have is this little 25-foot box car, and I like these little box cars. These will be ideal for using on the new Angel Ridge logging layout, for the fact that I can use 2, 3 and 4 of these in certain sidings rather than kind of one big 50-foot. So I'm paying attention to kind of freight and the sizes of them and the length of them, and the logging wagons I've got as well. So there will be a more in-depth review of all the rolling stock that I've got. And there's also another nice locomotive that I need to show you as well. I'll insert that here now. Particular locomotive is going to join the Shay that's coming for KR Models at some point. It was supposed to be here September, October last year, So I think it's March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November this year, who knows. But yeah, as soon as they get it, we'll get it, and I look forward to seeing it. Obviously I don't have a layout to run it on, so I'm in no rush to get it, as it were, but the process is developing. It will continue. The channel will cover every aspects of the build in this, all the nitty gritty, the failures, the successes, the ideas and comments from fellow subscribers and model railroaders is really appreciated. It really does help me kind of finalise. Sometimes I get caught up in things like the TT120. I just know isn't for me at all. I'd already started on HO and I will continue with HO, but double O gauge will continue as well. I've got a small kind of micro layout that I want to do. I want to scratch build a kind of proper whisky distillery. These buildings here are Metcalfe buildings. The only building is this one here, which is scratch built. The malting room, that's scratch built. But the rest are Metcalfe buildings, and I want to basically dispense of using these types of kits in future and go about building my own kits. And I want to build a really nice whisky distillery. I've got a really nice Scottish based local coming at some point, and that small micro layout will be for that, particularly with some other UK based double O gauge rolling stock that I can have on it, a very small kind of Inglenook type setup. But that will be in the future, but it will be done, will be built, and at some point I'll probably continue with 009. And I'm the sort of person, I'm not really stuck in any particular era. I'm very grateful for the fact that I grew up without being a train spotter, because it's opened my eyes to every railroad around the world, and I'm quite literally follow anyone that I feel that I can do well, represent really well. So that's the name of the game, is play trains, rule one all the way, and build what you want and have fun doing it. Thanks again for tuning in. Do all the usual bleep bloop bloops, and I will catch you on the next one. Happy New Year all the best, thank you. Brian out.